We're in for more sights, more vibes, and of course, more volleyball.
It is time for us Batanggenyos to make our voices heard. Nagani na ang PVL, pakne sa Heart of Volleyball! Manonood ng volleyball. This is the PVL and the Heart of Volleyball is in Batangas City.
Batangas City Sports Center is the new home of the PVL on its second leg of the PVL on Tour. Welcome to our doubleheader this Saturday, and the crowd remains for, I guess, the marquee matchup of today. We have the Chameleons. After finishing 12th out of 12 teams in the All-Filipino Conference, tough task in their first game as they take on the champions of the All-Filipino Conference, the Angels. Hi everybody, thank you for watching us. Kiara Permentilla, the team captain, will be one of the top scorers for the team, and Jules Tolentino will be leading the offense for their team, the Angels. I'm Eric Ipan, alongside Jamie La Victoria and Kyla Castillo. Kyla, this is our second game in case you just missed it. Kyla reported in the second set with a headgear. What's the story behind that?
Well, you know what, Eric and Jamie, one thing about Batanggenyos, umaapaw sa energy. I guess, nadala ng emosyon, sinuot na rin sa akin yung headband nila. And I guess, magandang premonition ito, nanalo ang kanilang favorite team, Choco Mucho.
All right, you mentioned Choco Mucho winning. What's the quick recap for you, Jamie?
Well, they defeated the Galleries Tower High Risers in 4 sets, so it was a great win. But let's talk about that tournament format. Let's give a refresher course for the audience and talk about the tournament format for the PVL on Tour. Now, the 12 teams will be split into 2 groups, Pool A and Pool B, and they will battle it out in a single round robin. Now, the top 2 teams will advance to the quarterfinals, and the bottom 4 teams will move on to that knockout round. But this is where it gets more exciting. The Hunger Games of the PVL. It is a 1-game elimination in the knockout round. The number 3 seed of Pool A will take on the number 6 seed of Pool B, and so on and so forth. So all teams have to be laser focused from start to finish. Now, after the quarterfinals, the semifinals, the battle for bronze and the finals will also be a 1-game elimination, and this is a much shorter format compared to our others, Eric. So let's see how the teams will pan out this tournament.
All right, let's talk about the Chameleons as we get back to these 2 teams battling it out today here at the Batangas City Sports Center. Joe Fernandez coming in the offseason from the HD Spikers. Jaja Maraginot. This team 1-10 in the All-Filipino Conference. The only team they beat was the High Risers.
That's right, you have the holdovers, Kiara Permentilla, Jaja Maraginot, and EJ Carino. They did lose, however, Ivy Perez and Leah Pelaga, but they do have additions in Joe Fernandez, Janelle Delerio, Leon de Guzman, who was also drafted from Ateneo, and Maya Nike coming from the Adamson Soaring Falcons.
So this is a solid lineup for this team, and a lot of people want to see, obviously, what these new additions will deliver for the Chameleons. Now, let's talk about strategy. What do they plan to do? I believe, Kyla, you spoke to head coach Ettore Guidetti.
That is right, Eric. Well, you mentioned, no, these are all solid players, and what a way to complement with a solid coach, Coach Ettore. And kanina napag-usapan nga namin, the off-season was all about raising the bar in physicality and mentality. They really had to double down on conditioning para mapapaghandaan itong on tour. And you know, Coach Ettore is really a man of motivation. He's known to really inspire his player. He gamifies, if you will, the trainings. Talagang hinahayaan niyang mag-enjoy at i-involve lahat from veterans to rookies para mabuo ang gelling ng Nexled Chameleons. Let's know more about the development of the Nexled Chameleons with Kiara Permentilla.
syempre sobrang excited. Matagal kaming nakapag-prepare for this new conference and madaming additions sa amin. So, talagang eager to play everyone. It's really nice na parang PVL and players naman and teams yung lumalapit sa mga manonood. Na kumbaga tayo naman yung nag-e-effort para mapanood nila, para makita nila in person. And maganda kasi, yun nga, syempre ibang environment, ibang court na lalaruan, everyone is gonna adjust. So talagang kailangan bring your A-game talaga kasi madami adjustments na mangyari during the game. Hello mga kapabatanggenyos! Sana cheer nyo kami, NXLED Chameleons. And thank you so much for all the support, lalo na sa PVL, for the Philippine Volleyball. Sana huwag kayong magsawa magsuporta sa amin. And I want to hear your loudest cheers.
I'm sure they will cheer for her coming off her first conference as the team captain. Chiara Permentilla was picked as the team captain because she is also a bit Italian, so she can relate the messages from Italian head coach Petro Gazz Angels.
That's right, Eric. She did mention in that interview that they are prepared for this PVL on tour, and you can see the All-Filipino Conference stats: 171 points, 6th in that tournament. Of course, we all know her lethal serves, her down-the-line attacks, but she said that they are more eager this time. So let's see how the NXLED Chameleons will perform today.
Now let's talk about the champions of the All-Filipino Conference, the Angels, what they bring to the PVL on tour.
There you have Myla Pablo, one of the holdovers for the Petro Gazz Angels, along with Jonas Sabete and Remy Palma. They did lose Casey Galdones and Ethan Arce, but they do have an addition in Juliana Tolentino coming from DLSU and Pau de Guzman. So you could see a lot of lethal weapons and a mixture of veterans and young guns for the Petro Gazz Angels.
All right, so these are the folks you're going to be seeing today in action. No Brooke Van Sickle with her duties with the national team, so at least we're putting it out there right now. Let's go back to Kyla Castillo. You spoke to Coach Koji Tuzurabara.
Yes, that is right. And we actually understood each other. We have that connection. Well, you know what, Eric and Jamie, Coach Koji told me earlier that this game, this match, we will be seeing more of the rookies. He told me that ito yung magsisilbing training ground nila. At yung mga ates, mga veterana, si Remy Palma, especially now that she's nursing a left hand injury, it will be more of the rookies na talagang magdadala sa Petro Gazz. And of course, it's gonna be all about patience, you know, with the ates just cheering them on from the bench. It's gonna take a lot of patience and hard work from these rookies to step up. Let's get more story from Petro Gazz with Remy Palma.
Siyempre, una-una na-miss nating lahat to. And also kami, kasi for the past 1 month, mahigit, na nag-stop yung league and then ito ulit, PVL on tour. So, siyempre, excited kaming lahat na maipakita ulit yung pinaghirapan all throughout nung off-season. So, let's see. And I'm looking forward sa conference na to. I can say na ito yung way natin to give back. Kasi not all of our volleyball fans na nakakabiyahe papuntang Manila. So ngayon, it's time naman na tayo naman yung pumunta sa kanila and tayo naman yung dumayo. Yun nga, para ma-showcase yung talent lahat ng club teams na kasama sa PVL. And also, syempre, i-help din natin sila sa part ng tourism ng city or provinces na binivisit natin. Maraming salamat po sa pagpunta nyo at pagbuhos ng oras sa PVL on tour natin sa Batangas City. And sana mabigyan po namin kayo ng magandang laro. Salamat!
You gotta admire Remy Palma. Always says the right things on camera, and to her teammates, Coach Koji Tsurabara, alongside team manager Oliver Almadro. And I believe Palma will be able to motivate these young players. She is such a good speaker, a good motivator.
That's right. Wise words from Remy Palma, of course. And they are having to deal with no MJ Phillips and EVS as well.
All right, let's take a look at Myla Pablo and what she put up in the All-Filipino Conference.
You have 160 points coming from Myla Pablo, and when she is on point, the Petro Gazz Angels do prevail, recharged and refueled. And let's see how she'll manage with this PVL on tour. A lot of firepower is expected coming from her, and of course not just attacking, but when it comes to serving and digging as well.
Okay, Kyla Castillo, what is our Pilipinas Live question of the day?
Well, Eric and Jamie, to all our kababayang Batanggenyo dyan at kung sino-sino pang PVL fans nanonood saan mang parte ng mundo, the PVL is back and so is our Pilipinas Live poll question. And that is, which team will light up the scoreboard here in Batangas City? Share your thoughts with us and don't forget to use the hashtag PVL on tour and hashtag PVL 2025.
We can't wait for the fireworks. The Chameleons, the only team at full strength without contributions to Alas Pilipinas, will take on a team without, Brooke Van Sickle and MJ Phillips in the Angels. Set number 1 coming up right here on your Signal TV channels.
Alay, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the Batangas City Sports Coliseum and the 2025 PVL On Tour preseason event of the Premier Volleyball League, the heart of volleyball. This is our final match for you for today in the preliminary round. And for match number 6, let us welcome our NXLED Chameleons and the champions of our recently concluded All-Filipino Conference, our Petro Gazz Angels. Presenting our national officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Fernando Velarde. Second referee, Mr. Joffer Educado. Presenting our starting lineup from our NXLED Chameleons. Let's begin with jersey number 3, Energy Carreño. At number 7, Critch Luz Macaslang. Number 14, Jaisal Ann de los Reyes. At number 16, Leanne Marie de Guzman. Number 18, Janelle Maraginot. And number 22, Jovelyn Fernandez. Starting libero is number 17, Lucille Almonte. Head coach, Mr. Ettore Guidetti. Calling on our Petro Gazz Angels. Let's begin with jersey number 3, Donna Pajarlejas. At number 6, Pauline de Guzman. Number 11, Mariana Lisa Buitre. Number 15, Myla Pablo. Number 16, Rania Musa. And number 19, Nicole Ann Tiamzon. Starting libero is number 23, Baby Love Barbon. Head coach, Mr. Koji Tsujurabara. This match is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusement Board. Match number 6.
The Chameleons and their starting lineup, it is practically a really fresh one without Chiara Permentilla in the starting lineup. EJ Carino, you know her as EJ Laure Carino. Rachel Gervina will be their starting libero. Meantime, for the Angels, Pao de Guzman in the starting lineup along with last year's draftee, 18th pick in the draft, Donna Paralejas.
For the Petro Gazz Angels.
Myla Pablo got a lot of cheers as she got introduced. There's EJ Carino on your screens, one of the more senior players. And on the other side, Myla Pablo, of course, one of the more senior players as well for the Angels. Welcome back to the Batangas City Sports Center. Final game of the first day, Batangas leg of the PVL on tour. What are your expectations here, Jamie? You know, underdogs definitely, the Chameleons against the champions of the All-Filipino Conference and the Angels.
Well, looking at the Petro Gazz Angels and looking at the first 6 on the court, there's a lot of young guns that we're seeing compared to the All-Filipino Conference. We did mention this earlier in the pregame, no BVS, no MJ Phillips. So actually the Nexled Chameleons and the Petro Gazz Angels are having to deal with new challenges, I would say, for this PVL on tour with a different mix this time and seeing who works with who, who does not work well with each other. So this is all for experimentation now.
Leanne de Guzman, coming off a stint with the Lady Eagles in UAAP Season 87, gets the first point of the set for the Chameleons.
De Guzman has always been that gutsy player for the Blue Eagles, but this time now a Chameleon and starting for the Nexled Chameleons.
Served by Jaisel de los Reyes. Oh, nice hit. Marian Buitre, as explosive as when she was a lady fighting maroon.
And also Marian Buitre is also getting that starting call for the Petro Gazz Angels. Did not have a lot of playing time in the All-Filipino Conference, but let's see how she will perform in today's match.
She's been with the team since 2023 as Rania Musa, fresh off her ACL injury, is making her presence felt early.
So feeding the bigs early on for the Angels.
Lucille Almonte, by the way, in case you didn't notice, number 17 is a libero now for the Nexled Chameleons.
Along with Rachel Gervina, as Joe Fernandez just breaking that block for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Former Lady Tamarao Fernandez in her first conference as a Chameleon. Makes it a one-point game. Nice serve. Barbon with a tough pass, and that's put away by Pao de Guzman, officially her first point as an Angel.
Of course, welcome to the PVL, coming off as a free agent.
Yep, was undrafted out of Arellano.
Good serve, loaded serve.
And a bad pass there, but Angels can't put it away. De Guzman sends it to the net.
It's a bit low of a contact, and you can see Coach Koji just shaking his head. Might be a little bit too early to activate that back row attack.
Coach Koji Tsuzurabara has been coaching for 37 years, one of the most experienced coaches we have in the league. Paralejas to Pablo, a bit low. Had to settle for a push. Now, much better height, but a terrific block. Bouncing off the face of Rania Musa. Critch Bakaslang will get the first kill block for the Chameleons.
Perfect press by Critch on the attack of Myla Pablo.
After being down by 2, Leanne de Guzman and the Chameleons tie the game at 4. Bad pass. And now the first lead for the Chameleons at 5-4. Let's go courtside to Kyla Castillo.
Thank you so much, Eric. Payat man, pero power. That is Pau de Guzman for you. Tubong Tanay Rizal, ang 23-year-old spiker na nakuha ng Petro Gazz Angels. Kwento niya sa akin kanina, wala siyang paglagyan ng saya. She said, and I quote, hindi ko nga ina-expect na from Team Rizal sa provincial league, mapupunta ako sa champion team gaya ng Petro Gazz. Bilang gusto ngayon ni Coach Koji na hasain early on ang mga rookie, sasabak na agad si Pau ngayong gabi. At ang kanyang motivation, kung kaya ng iba, kakayanin ko rin. Balik sa inyo, Eric and Jamie.
All right, thank you, Kyla. Bad reception there for Pau de Guzman. Lian de Guzman, the other rookie from the other team. The NXLED Chameleons with 3 points. And Carrillo gets her first of the set.
That's a beautiful down the line by EJ. And it's all starting with that serve by Lian de Guzman, which is showing some stability here in terms of offense for the NXLED Chameleons.
3-point lead now. Biggest lead for either team.
That's too tight.
Another really short pass as well. Carrillo makes something out of that with a left hand. Ooh! Right now, Paralejas and Pablo are not connecting. Chris Makaslang blocked by Pablo. Good defense. Gervina sets it up. Carrillo again. Baby Love Barbon diving for the dig. Another low set by Paralejas to Pablo. Fernandez, standing spike. One-handed save from Barbon. Paralejas with the easy over. Gervina pops it up. On two. For Jaja Maraginot. The run continues for the Chameleons. They've scored 6-0 run. Technical timeout. Chameleons up by 4.
Bitin na kaya sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Zero run by the Chameleons after being down by 2. They are now up by 4. Myla Pablo has struggled to get her offense going because of the passes by Paralejas. Musa is blocked. Paralejas to Pablo. Much better set, and Pablo delivers.
Better execution on that open set coming from Paralejas. So far, the points have been on those A quick attacks and B quick attacks, but that's a better shoot set to Myla Pablo on the left pin.
31-year-old Myla Pablo, one-time finals MVP, a former MVP of the PVL when we had open conferences. And there's Nicole Tiamzon, former Lady Fighting Maroon, with her first point today.
Tiamzon coming from the left pin, a better set from Paralejas, but finding that seam in between that block of the NXLED Chameleons.
2-point run for the Angels. Warning there by first referee Fernando Velarde. Coach Guidetti on your screens.
Game captain, Myla Pablo, serving for the Angels.
Really short serve. It didn't even make it to the net. Made it enough to hit Rania Musa, but not any further.
Wrong target.
Even Coach Koji Tsurabara could not help but smile. You don't see that very often.
You just gotta laugh it off in those moments.
9 serving 6, Makaslang. Short pass from Pablo. Tiamzon. It's outside.
Is there a check on that?
No, says Fernando Velarde. And they will, they will challenge.
See, that's a block touch
It's a
challenge
challenge on the floor. The Angels block
on the
touch.
attack of Chameleons.
Petro Gazz Angels.
First challenge of the match. The NXLED Chameleons up by 4 points against the Petro Gazz Angels.
So far, anemic offense for the Angels. Huitra leading the way with 2 points. Everybody else with 1 point. All right.
Yep.
Very quick review because the ring finger there
Yep.
on the left has contact.
For the Petro Gazz Angels.
So successful challenge. Chamzon will get her second point of the game.
7-9.
Meanwhile, for the Chameleons, Lian de Guzman. Good debut so far. 3 points. Former Blazer from CSB, Rania Musa serving. Jaja Maraginot
Great
to
set.
Carino. Off the chest of Musa. Maraginot back to Carino. Tries again. This time, cut shot is good.
Changes direction.
Beautiful sets coming from Jaja as well.
That's the spike of the set. Brought to you by Dunkin' Pasalubong ng Bayan.
See Jaja perfectly placing that set near the left pin and guiding it in the hand of Carino.
Jaja Maraginot, good look and serve. Paralejas to Tiamzon. Popped up by Jervina. Jaisel de los Reyes with the tip. And the counter.
Double contact.
Yep, will be no good. Paralejas has had her very early troubles here today.
Her hands looking a bit unstable. And also a bit too far apart as well, which is forcing that double contact.
Back to the biggest lead for the Chameleons.
Loaded serve.
11-4. Chamzon. That one into the net. And nobody for coverage anyway. So the lead is now at its biggest for the Chameleons, up by 5.
So no coverage for the Petro Gazz Angels here in this sequence.
Service. Maraginot.
Jaja Maraginot, also from this province, gets an ace. And the run continues for the Chameleons.
They have a stacked front row here as Maraginot is in the back row. But the Petro Gazz Angels will call for timeout.
Just up! Era! Toki each other! Libero, you are what? No difference! Come on, guys!
It is a 10-3 run for Coach Ettore Guidetti and the Chameleons here in the first set.
They were 12th place in the 2024-2025 All-Filipino Conference, but with the draftees that they got here for this PVL on tour, of course, Lian de Guzman, I believe she's a perfect fit for the Chameleons, being that 1-2 punch already just from her serves alone, and for her spunk that is really needed for the NXLED Chameleons, needing that new type of energy.
Donalyn May Paralejas, former Lady Chief as well. Carino, two-handed push kept alive by Pao de Guzman. Job Fernandez, nope, into the net. No, a couple of errors, one from the serve, one from the attack for the Chameleons, Jamie.
Now, 2 errors that you just mentioned, Eric, this is where the consistency comes into play. This is a young lineup that we're seeing in the NXLED Chameleons. So, of course, these errors are bound to happen.
De Guzman with a good pass, running attack. No, they go to Fernandez. Fernandez is blocked. There's coverage. Down the line, hit, popped up by Paralejas. So it's Tempiatura setting it up for Tiamzon. And right now, the Angels on a 3-point run.
Beautiful pump set by Tempiatura going to the outside near the net for Chamzon to attack.
And now, Coach Guidetti's turn to call a timeout. Their lead down to 3.
block you. Use the block out. Deep line. There is a J. J, on you. It's double block. Two people. One in one long, one in six long. There is deep line. Deep in 3-6. Short diagonal. Guys, one side out. There you go. Oh. That's nice.
We have the Petro Gazz Angels, Angelic Rise, the 2024 Reinforced Conference 6th place, and of course the 2024-2025 All Filipino Conference champions. Carlejas now up to serve. Myla Pablo on your screens, and the NXLED Chameleons up by 3 points in set number 1.
Their biggest lead was 6. Carino. Tempiatura with an excellent dig. Chamzon. Almonte pops it up. Back row. Lian de Guzman is turned away. And that's saved by Fernandez. No good. 4-0 run now for the Angels.
That's a kill block by Marian Buitre against that back row kill from de Guzman. But de Guzman was actually targeting zone 6. Could have gone in zone 1 and zone 5. The corner pockets.
Service out for Donalyn Paralejas. That's the second service fault for the Angels, helping the Chameleons protect this 3-point cushion. Former Rookie of the Year back in season 77, EJ Carino with a serve. Great pass by Barbon, and Buitre hits it. Gervina with a dig. De Guzman popped up by Pablo. Good job at the net by Paralejas. And Jacel de los Reyes will score.
Jaja Maragino just making the blockers move for the Petro Gazz Angels from the back row attacks to now Jacel de los Reyes. Of course, they had that tandem back in Ateneo. So you know Jaja knows the types of sets that Jacel likes. Perfect 8 quick swipe for Nexled.
2-point run for the Chameleons. They're back up by 4. Pablo with a pass. Chamzon. What a dig for Gervina using one hand. A dump attempt by de Guzman. Kept alive. Lian de Guzman falling away and sending it out.
Quality digs we're seeing by Rachel Gervina here for the Nexled Chameleons.
51-year-old Coach Guidetti. Chamzon serving 12-15. Almonte pops it up. De los Reyes turned away. Marian Buitre, that's going to be block number 3. She's got 4 points, 3 coming from blocks.
What a game for Marian Buitre.
Great timing. 2-point game. Pass by de Guzman. Gets it back. Lian de Guzman. Paralejas pops it up. Tempiatura to Pablo. Down the line. Popped up by Maraginot. Set too close to the net. Fernandez is turned away.
Another block by the Angels. And this time from Myla Pablo. In this sequence, bump set coming from Almonte. But Joe Fernandez actually a bit trapped in that sequence.
From up 6. Now it's just a 1-point lead for the Chameleons. Fernandez blocked again. Great coverage by Maraginot. De Guzman got it.
No fear by Lian de Guzman. What a swing.
16-14. Chameleons up by 2.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Chameleons Up by 2 points. They led by as many as 6. Rachel Gervina talking to Carino.
End of the second. Technical time.
And so far, Leanne de Guzman leading the way. Another rookie stepping up, like Jean Assis stepped up earlier for the high risers.
Right.
Serving for Nexled, number 14,
Jason de los Reyes left several years of eligibility when she left Ateneo and went pro. Pao de Guzman gets her second point of the game.
You know, mid-air, it looked like she was going for that cross court, but switched direction and went for that down the line. Saw that open window and avoided that block.
Angels fighting back there within 1 again. Good looking serve from Buitre. De Guzman blocked, but it goes outside. Under pressure, Chameleons kept going to De Guzman, and she has delivered.
Well, De Guzman, very gutsy player, like I mentioned earlier, but also very consistent so far in this game, adjusting well to the sets, to the tandem between Jaja and Maraguinot.
Will step out, and Maji Mangulabnan checks in.
Also from Batangas.
That's right. And another rookie, Mayang Nike. We mentioned her during the Open from Adamson. So a stacked front line.
Right.
2 Adamsonians, Makaslang, Mayang Nike, and then 1 Atenean in De Guzman. Good pass by Tiamzon. Here comes Pablo with a drop shot. Got it.
Drop shot, Pablo.
Lucky break for Myla Pablo. Set was a little bit short. That's why she went for that tip. Take a look at this replay here. Rania Musa actually being a decoy as well.
Meantime, for the Angels, a double sub from Coach Koji Zorabara as Jules Tolentino, the 11th overall pick in this year's draft. Here she is, checking in alongside Jonas Abete, who suffered back problems during the All-Filipino Conference. Tolentino pops it up. Here comes Pablo, bouncing it off the block. De Guzman keeping it alive.
Good set.
Mayang Nike turned away.
Solid block for Pablo.
Beautiful reverse set by Maji, but unfortunately was blocked by Myla Pablo. Reading that early on here. No coverage for the NXLED Chameleons.
And just like that, after being down by 6, Angels tie it up, but not for long. As Tolentino serves it outside.
Nexled up by 1.
So a lucky break here for the Chameleons. They get an easy point to regain the lead. And look who's back at serve, Leanne de Guzman. Remember, this is when the Chameleons made a run to take the lead away from the Angels early in the first set. Good looking serve. Ooh. That was an iffy set. That could have been a double right away.
Perfect receive coming from Jonas Abete. Of course, nerves. First game in the PVL
Rookie
in her hometown.
Mayang Nike on your screens. 2-point run for the Chameleons. Tolentino sets it up. Pablo got it.
Pablo.
The better set coming from Tolentino to Myla Pablo going down the line. We have Jonas Abete now in, one of the veterans of the Angels.
Myla Pablo. Serving for the Angels.
Almonte with a short pass. Here comes Carino. What a dig for Tempiatura, but Tolentino was nowhere close to the ball.
And also, she was very far from that dig. This is where Rania Musa actually needs to communicate a bit more. Tolentino, keep in mind that she's coming from the back row.
A timeout for Coach Koji Tuzurabara. Angels down by 2 late in the first set. Last timeout for the Angels. Heavy load on the shoulders of that girl, Jules Tolentino, have to run the offense of Petro Gazz. Rich Makaslang serving Chameleons up by 2 points. They still have a timeout remaining. Short pass coming from Barbon. Nicole Tiamzon. Powerful hit.
What a swing coming from Nicole Tiamzon, breaking that block yet again. Not the tallest of attackers, but the swing is there, the elevation, and also a great set from Tolentino.
4 points for Nicole Tiamzon, matching the 4 of Buitre. Aranya Musa serving, 1 point game. Carino with a great pass. Maji to Mayang Like. That set was slow. Tolentino out to Sabete. Good save coming from De Los Reyes. Carino block and no coverage for the Chameleons. We're tied at 20.
The Nexled Chameleons had the lead in this set, but the veterans in the Petro Gazz Angels doing some damage in this set.
First block and first point for Sabete. Last time out for Coach Guidetti.
About the B and ball in 4. You have 1 block. Okay. We can have also the 5. Please, play serene. This is a suicide ball. If you set like this, you mean that I have to change her. Okay, here we go. Oh! Chameleons.
Girls, last 5 na. Last 5. Let's go.
Coach Ettore Guidetti, he's coached in various countries, including Poland, Sweden, and Romania. 23 years of volleyball experience he's sharing to the team. Both teams with no timeouts remaining, 20 all, race to score 5 points to close out the first set. Yara Permentilla, the team captain in the game for the first time. Let's see if she can be the difference maker. Good serve by Musa, but a better pass from Permentilla. Combination play, Carino touches the net. Yeah.
Yep. That was obvious for the Nexled Chameleons.
So not only is their lead gone, Coach Guidetti and company now trail by 1 point. 21 serving 20. Biggest lead for the Angels was just 2 points at 2-0. What a time for them to turn it around. Short pass. Mayang Like blocked. Carino with coverage. Carino gets it back. Blocked again. Oh, great defense. Angels.
It's a blocking party here for the Petro Gazz Angels. And it's targeting the hands of Jonas Sabete. Perfect press and perfect timing on that block as we see Jaja Maraguinot and Joe Fernandez now back in.
All of the 2 points of Sabete have come from monster blocks. This is the tail end of a 4-0 run. They're now back up by 2. Back to their biggest lead of the opening set. Consistent and steady serving from Rania Musa. Carino. Ayla Pablo. Dig goes over. Back row for Permentilla, and there's the side out for the Chameleons.
It's Tolentino and Rania Musa colliding into one another on that first dig, on that back row attack of the Nexled Chameleons. A bit too quiet, no communication.
Jaja Maraguinot serving to tie the game.
Still good.
Oh, Marian.
That's a good set.
Got a little too eager.
That's a great set by Tolentino.
Yeah.
Of course, she's coming from the back row. The receiver's too near the net. Still making a way for Marian Vitre.
So the lead of the Angels is gone. 2 point run for the Chameleons. Great serve. Tolentino back to Sabete. Picked up by Maraguinot. So Gervina will play center. On to the libero. With a 1-2 play. And it's a 3-point run for the Chameleons. They're up by 1 point.
Gotta see that replay coming from Rachel Gervina. We love that.
Yeah. Rachel Gervina,
Coming from
26 years old,
Canada.
out of Canada,
Yep.
from McEwen University. Sabete off the block and outside, side out for the Angels. We're tied at 23.
So it's veteran moves from Jonah Sabete. When her team needs that immediate side out, she will pave the way, targeting the hands of Carino.
What a nail biter in set number 1. Good pass by Permentilla. Carino blocked again. Chance ball for the Angels. Tolentino out
That's a
to
good set.
Tiamzon. Maraginot, back row, Permentilla. Dig goes over. Carino trying to put it away, and she does. It is set point for the Chameleons.
That is Carino targeting at that corner pocket, taking advantage of the overpasses here. A lot of effort we're seeing from the NXLED Chameleons. The points that they have been earned by outsmarting the defense of the Angels.
4 points for Carino, all coming from attacks. Nice looking serve. Overpass and outside. And ace to close it out. Carino with 5. And is there going to be a challenge?
Yes, of course. It's the last point. I believe the Petro Gazz Angels still have one more challenge in set number 1 here.
Hey, Coach Fernando Velarde, I mean, you can tell from his face, he cannot believe what he's seeing. It fell right in front of him. He called it outside. This is maybe wishful thinking. This is on the far side from where we're sitting.
So our POV,
Yeah,
we can't see it.
It's not 100%,
Yeah.
but it's right in front of Fernando Velarde.
Okay, that is outside.
It explains his reaction like, really? You're still going to challenge? And it's unsuccessful for Coach Koji Tizorabara as the Chameleons get a 2-point win against the Angels. Point of the set brought to you by Myra, the Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Come from behind win. Set number 1 for the Chameleons against the Angels. (25-23) Nexled Chameleons winning the first set in 31 minutes against the Petro Gazz Angels.
Well, the NXLED Chameleons looking very sharp here in this match. Jaja Maragina is spreading out the offense beautifully as I see the team actually screaming and jumping for joy after beating the Petro Gazz Angels in set number 1. EJ Carino, and I have to commend Rachel Gervina. Superb defense coming from her. She even had that 1-2 play, very deceiving for the Petro Gazz Angels, and also the activation of the middle blockers is there, talking about the NXLED Chameleons. As for the Petro Gazz Angels, when it came to receive, you can see tough serves coming from the NXLED Chameleons. Not solid receive coming from the Angels as we see the attacks here for set number 1. 12 attacks for both teams, but take a look at that. 7 blocks alone in set number 1 for the Petro Gazz Angels, but it was the 4 aces for the NXLED Chameleons. And Eric, I always say this, what's not shown on our screens is the timing of the aces, the timing of the blocks, which actually boosted the momentum and shifted on the side of the NXLED Chameleons. Actually, from the start of set number 1, they did show promise. Of course, Lian de Guzman showing a lot of grit from the service line to her attacks of going cross court and down the line.
De Guzman with 5 points, 2 coming from aces. She is a rookie. And the other player with 5 points, the veteran, EJ Carino, they have stepped up in the face of this tough challenge being posed by the All-Filipino Conference champions, the Angels, who are led by Pablo with 5. There's EJ Carino, the ace to finish off the set. Meanwhile, Pablo, you mentioned, 3 attacks, 2 blocks. Nicole Tiamzon with 4 points. And Marian Buitre with 4 points. She has 3 of the 7 blocks of the Angels. Pablo has 2. And then Sabete has 2. And those players will be in the starting lineup for Coach Koji Tsurabara, along with Tiamzon and Jules Tolentino. Meanwhile, it is a different starting lineup, just a bit of a minor change, as Jai Atienza will be part of the 6 for Coach Guidetti to start set number 2.
First to serve in the second set, number 4, setter of the Angels, Jules Tolentino.
Jules Tolentino out of the LSU, came from Miriam College as well. Lian de Guzman got it.
Off the block, de Guzman.
Just breaking that block of the Petro Gazz Angels, Lian de Guzman. What a performance here in the PVL, already with 6 points.
Meanwhile, Jai Atienza played 4 years with the Fighting Maroons. Also played for Photon and then Cherry before moving to Nexled. A nice hit, Jonah Sabete. And that's her first attack point. Now, beg your pardon, her second attack point. But her first 2 were from blocks. Carino with the pass. De Guzman. Tempiatura, right place, right time for the dig. And Marian Buitre puts it away.
That's a swing from Marian Buitre on that beautiful quick attack from Jules Tolentino. Of course, what a dig coming from Jelly as well.
Yeah, wouldn't have been possible, that 5th point of Buitre without the dig. Angels up by 1, a bad pass here. Now Carino. Comes up short. Let's go to Kyla Castillo.
Eric and Jamie, earlier, Coach Ettore told me, just be ready. We have a surprise with our liberos. I even asked for a clue. Turns out it was former Lady Adamson, Lucille Almonte, who is taking on the defensive role. Similar to what happened to Bang Pineda, who was converted from spiker to libero. With that, it's safe to say that Adamson really produces great defenders. Of course, hindi naging madali ang adjustment phase para kay Lucille, but citing Coach Ettore's positive culture, she feels well supported and assured that she is exactly where she needs to be. Along with Rachel Jorvina, who proved to be a steady defender in the latter part of set 1. We saw the Chameleons jump in glee. Now let's see if they can maintain that intensity. Eric and Jamie.
Thanks, Kyla. Right now they're down by 2. Both teams with service errors.
Serving for Petro Gazz.
Buitre, good start for the Angels as a starter. Rich Makaslang. Tiamzon. Fernandez picks it up. Here comes De Guzman. It's on the line.
What a swing by Lian de Guzman. And of course, gotta commend Jaja Maragino for pushing that set to the open on the left pin and allowing Lian de Guzman to go for that cross-court attack.
The 4th overall pick in the 2025 PVL draft. She went to FEU in high school and then Ateneo. Tolentino to Dacoron. Carino. Outside.
That goes wide. 5, 7, 3.
Both teams trying to find the rhythm at the start of the second set. Almonte, short pass. Carino. Yes. That defense of the Angels reacting very slow to that hit.
Yep. And also Myla Pablo also not in the right position for defense here. Let's take a look at the location here of Myla Pablo.
So Carino picks up her 6th point. And they've got a chance to tie on the serve by Makaslang. Tolentino to Tiamzon. Carino again. Nacoron sends it over. There's an overpass. Fernandez with an excellent job defensively. Tiamzon with the dig. Back row, Pablo. Ooh, that's a foot fault. Definitely.
Fault, yep. You saw that, Eric?
Yeah.
Good eye. But that's also a good set from Jules Tolentino. 5-all is our score here in set number 2.
2-0 run for the Chameleons. Nice serve. That's an ace for Coach Makaslang.
That is her 2nd point of the match. Another loaded serve from the NXLED Chameleons, and this is also a trend that we saw in set number 1, giving the Petro Gazz Angels a hard time.
3 straight points. And no more as Makaslang serves into the net. Six all. Nicole Tiamzon started playing volleyball at 10 years old. Carino. Tempiatura again. Terrific defense so far here in the second and first set. Carino blocked, but it goes outside.
Off the block on the hands of Tolentino. Take a look at this replay here. Beautiful jump set by Jaja. But the arms of Tolentino not at the right pace.
And great server, Jaja Maraguinot. Chameleons up by 1. Short pass here, very short one. Barbon will have to set it up. Gervina with the dig. Carino again. She has the hot hand. Sabete passes Tolentino to Pablo. Ooh. What a shot by Pablo. Chance ball here for the Angels. Pablo tries again. Blocked this time.
Pablo coming back.
And it's 8-6. Chameleons up by 2. First technical timeout of the second set.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Tomorrow of the PVL on tour, Myla Pablo and the Angels down by 2 points off a 5-1 run by Jaja Maraguinot and the NXLED Chameleons, who are up 1-0 after a 2-point win in the opening set.
Icing the server after that technical timeout.
Second service fault for Jaja Maraguinot. And Coach Guidetti giving her an earful. Joy Dacoron from Balanban, Cebu. Out of Adamson. Nice drop shot by Carino, but good coverage from Myla Pablo. Bad set there and easy over for Tiamzon. Jai Atienza makes them pay for that mistake.
Little errors piling up here in that sequence for the Petro Gazz Angels, which is allowing Jai Atienza to go for that big quick attack. Jaja Maraguinot yet again spreading out the offense beautifully here.
First point for Jai Atienza. It's back to a 2-point cushion for the Chameleons. Former Tigers. EJ Carino with a serve. Pablo picked up by Gervina. De Guzman got it. Leon De Guzman now with 8 points.
It's all smiles for the NXLED Chameleons.
Spike of the set brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng Bayan, and an early timeout here for Coach Koji to Zorabara after Leon De Guzman gives the Chameleons a 3-point lead. This is now the biggest deficit against Myla Pablo and the Angels. It's been a rough start for them,
right,
in both sets.
But also the NXLED Chameleons have been showing up here since the blow of the whistle. Of course, Leon De Guzman, gotta commend her. Perfect fit for the NXLED Chameleons.
Good serve. Pablo through the block.
Still good.
Myla Pablo knocking in her 6th point of the game. Coach Koji saying, come on. Biggest lead for the Angels was only 2 points in both sets. Great serve from Tolentino. De Guzman, drop shot. Pablo again for coverage. Sabete rejected, and it goes outside. Another point for the Angels.
Another point, another off the block attack from Jonas Sabete. And when they need that immediate side out, they do lean to Jonas Sabete.
5 points now for Sabete. Fernandez got it. Fourth point for John Fernandez.
Getting a high five from Coach Ettore. What a swing, what a bullet targeting Jules Tolentino.
And just when the Angels were about to tie it.
No.
Yep, big side out there for Fernandez to give him a 2-point cushion. Barbon to Sabete.
Oh, goodness.
Speaking of bullets.
No surprise to us, Eric, with that attack coming from Jonas Sabete.
Sabete now with 6 points. 3 in the first set, 3 here in set number 2. And we're just halfway through the second set. Now Chris Makaslang catches the line.
That is her 3rd point of the match.
On both teams, they've not made big runs so far. Fernandez, Tolentino, and Buitre. I mean, it's just a swapping side outs.
Yep. Swapping side outs, but also gotta give Buitre. I mean, she did not get a lot of playing time here in the All-Filipino Conference, but she is shining bright here for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Well, it's tough to compete for playing time if you have MJ Phillips in the lineup.
Exactly.
Makaslang with the tip. Tolentino sets it up. They go back to Sabete. Down the line and catches the line. Jonas Sabete coming alive here in set number 2.
Tricky attack coming from Sabete and also fooling Almonte as well.
Now the leading scorer for the Angels. 7 points.
Mariam Buitre a bit too excited to serve.
12 all. Carino with a perfect pass. De Guzman. Tolentino with a dig. Jamzon. Fernandez. Oh, what a save coming from Maraguinot. Chance ball for the Angels.
That's a good set.
Jamzon again. And she gets the kill. Jamzon with her 5th point. That's her 1st point in the second set.
Beautiful shoot set by Jules Tolentino here.
More importantly, though, that puts the Angels up by 1. De Guzman blocked. Fernandez keeping it alive. De Guzman, second try. Turned away again.
Dacaron now actually starting here in set number 2. Marian Buitre up to serve.
7-2 run for the Angels. After this nice block, triple block at the net. Meantime, substitution again for Coach Guidetti. This time, Laika Ebon seeing action for the first time. Will check in along with Majim Ngolobnan.
Of course, hoping to change the tempo, changing the offense, and it actually provides the NXLED Chameleons with 3 spikers in the front row. It's usually a strategy when having that double sub.
Ebon. Nice dig coming from Buitre. Pablo with an easy over. De Guzman with a left, blocked again. Makaslang with coverage. Ebon. Valentino, the set by Buitre. Too close to the net. Nice block by De Guzman. Buitre sets it up this time to Tiamzon. Blocked again. Coverage by Buitre. Excellent defense by both teams. Angels on the floor and Chameleons at the net, but not that time, says Jonas Abete.
The team effort for the Petro Gazz Angels. Sabeta having to catch her breath after that sequence. But smart play.
Bete now with 5 points in the second set. And it's now a 3-point lead. Make that a 4-point lead for the Angels straight away to the second technical timeout of set number 2.
Bitin na kaya sa games? Watch all the replays at PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
You are still watching the PVL 2025 on tour, and right now I am with Janelle Delerio of the NXLED Chameleons. Janelle, I'm really curious, kumusta ang iyong very first out-of-town trip with your new team?
Yes, kagabi po kumain po kami ng lomi. And so far naman po, yung mga Batagenyo sobrang babait sa amin and very welcoming.
Alright, so Janelle, lomi check. Bukas meron pa kayong isang buong araw bukod sa inyong game. Ano pang mga balak ninyong gawin or puntahan dito sa Batangas City?
Titikman po namin lahat, buong lomi dito sa Batangas.
Lomi hopping pala ang mangyayari. Well, there's Janelle Delerio of the NXLED Chameleons for you. Back to you, Eric and Jamie.
All right, thank you, Kyla. I don't know if it's going to taste the same between today and tomorrow, but it's never a bad idea to taste Batangas Lomi, one of the more popular food choices in the city. Blocked by Joy Dacoron makes it a 5-point game now, and Mangolabnan is A-OK after slamming on the A board right in front of us. Goes to show you how well conditioned these athletes are.
A little bit risky with that dive.
It's the A board that sustained more damage. 6-point game.
Ball is in, point and serve for the NXLED Chameleons. Serving for NXLED.
All right, somewhere along the lines, a side out was picked up by the Chameleons, but Joy Dacoron with a quick answer.
So far, we're seeing a lot of success on these V-quick attacks of the Petro Gazz Angels. And a late block coming from Critch in that sequence.
But how about Joy Dacoron, the energy she brings
Of
off
course.
the bench here in set number 2.
I mean, we saw it in the All-Filipino Conference.
Permentilla with an off-speed hit. Nice push coming from Tolentino, but coverage from Lian de Guzman, like a Ebon. Tolentino picks it up. Tempiatura will set. Chamzon. Good dig from Permentilla. Back row, Lian de Guzman. The tip. Dacoron again. Chamzon, second time in a row. And that big, no good for Maji Mangudabnan. Chamzon with 6. And the lead is 6 for the Angels. Last time out here for Coach Ettore Guedetti of the Chameleons. We'll listen in.
Right now, there is no one on block. We tip. The set, the ball in position 2. It's very difficult to play. Okay, the ball in 4 is short. We need to rise it up. Coverage of the net, defense of the net, and we come back and use our system of block. Because right now it's pure confusion. Got it? Here we go.
Let's go!
Oh.
Chameleons!
A correction, that's just the first timeout for Coach Guedetti. Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. But Chameleons in a big 6-point hole here, which explains the face of Coach Lian, or face of Lian de Guzman. They're going to try to turn that frown upside down and get back in this game. They are used to coming from behind. That's how they won the first set.
The first set.
Permentilla picked up by Sabete in the back row.
Ooh, that's too tight.
Tough pass.
Bump set by Dacoron, a bit unsteady in that sequence, but they do have some cushion here in set number 2.
Long way back for the Chameleons. Tolentino. Dacoron on a running hit. De Guzman picks it up. Here comes like Ebon. Pablo digs it up.
That's a good set.
Permentilla with an excellent dig. Chiara got it.
That was all Chiara in that set. Beautiful dig. And an even better attack, just breaking that block.
Meantime, Antoinette, Adolfo, and Manalyn Paralejas. First time for Adolfo in the game, and Paralejas returns after starting in the first set. Both one of the young players.
Ooh,
Ace Makaslang.
what a serve. That is her second ace of the match.
And Coach Tezurabara has seen it up. Will call his timeout, last one.
Beacon! Now, you have an equal set! People back, come there!
Myla Pablo and the Angels trying to stop a 3-point run by Cruz Makaslang and the Chameleons here in set number 2. Makaslang with 4. Already with 2 aces. Almost got her third. It is a broken play for the Angels. Permentilla outside. And no touch.
20-16.
It's an error that stops the run for the Chameleons. Good pass coming from De Guzman. Like a Ebon. Ebon tries again. Adolfo pops it up. Adolfo not ready. Pushes it in. Finds a way to score.
Adolfo.
It's a lucky break for the Petro Gazz Angels in that sequence. bit too tight, but Adolfo was able to make a way.
De Guzman has been the target of the serves by the Angels. There's the Permentilla hit. Adolfo underhand pass. Good save by De Guzman. Permentilla hits Yamzon with a dig. Myla Pablo. Paralejas, the jump set. Pablo got it.
It's a better set coming from Paralejas to Myla Pablo here.
Pablo now with 7. Smile on the face of the former Lady Bulldog. Meantime, Jaja Maraguinot checking back in along with Job Fernandez. For the Chameleons, they're down by 6 late in the second set.
It's a good serve.
What a trickler up the net for Lian de Guzman. Myla Pablo answers back with a trickler of her own.
Lucky break with the help of the net.
Yep.
In that sequence.
Myla Pablo now with 8 points. First, a great save by Paralejas, and then Myla Pablo gets it to bounce off the net. Timeout here for Chameleons.
And they play. With a bad ball, we make mistakes, or balls so simple that they can play with. That's the difference. Okay? So right now, you have to fix. Because if you expect the setter always to be perfect, you will expect for a long time. Because they are serving good, we have problems also sometimes in passing, and that's it. Okay? So play high, play high, play high.
Right now, the Chameleons in a huge hole. This is the biggest lead for the Angels. 7 points in the entire match.
Of course, this is where the gelling is needed for the Nexled Chameleons. But so far, so good for the Petro Gazz Angels here.
Pau de Guzman back in the game for the Angels as Chamzon serves. It's outside. Good job by de Guzman.
Good eye.
Initially, looked like she was going to get it. There's Mr. Chris Chu of the Chameleons, team owner of Nexled. Good serve coming from Maraguinot. Paralejas to de Guzman into the net.
De Guzman trying to go for that cross court.
2 points, but 2 errors for Pau de Guzman in the game. Still a 5-point deficit against Jaya Tienza. And the Chameleons, with a good 3-4 point run here, can get them back in the game.
It's another double contact by the Petro Gazz Angels, and the Nexled Chameleons slowly creeping in here.
Yep. A lot of errors for Paralejas in the game. That's her 3rd error. 3-point run for the Chameleons from down 7 and within 4. Good serve, but a better pass from de Guzman. Adolfo blocked. Dacoron coverage. Permentilla.
Ooh.
It's outside. That's a heartbreaker for the Chameleons. No more timeouts remaining for Coach Guidetti, and look who's checking in for the first time today, the team captain, Aiza Maizo Puntillas. Puntillas, the 2-time UAAP champion, will get an ace to finish it off. What a time for her to check in. It didn't take that many moves for her to get her first point. That is the point of the set, deservingly brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. And a huge win, a 6-point win for the Angels versus the Chameleons in set number 2. And as expected, the champions of the All-Filipino Conference equalizing in set number 2 with a 6-point win against the Chameleons. Going to set 3, we are tied at 1 set apiece as we give you highlights of the second set.
You know, it's the veterans that made the difference there in set number 2. Jonas Abete, Nicole Chamson, and of course, Jules Tolentino actually starting in set number 2, slowly gaining some confidence here in the PVL. And of course, the middle blockers as well. Mariam Buitre shining here in this entire match. As for the Nexled Chameleons, multiple sequences where they could have talked a bit more, and a lot of errors in set number 2. As we see the set 2 stats here, with 9 attacks for the Nexled Chameleons and 14 for the Petro Gazz Angels. 1 block per team, and 7 errors for the Petro Gazz Angels and 8 for the Nexled Chameleons. Of course, there was 1 ace by Ataiza to finish off set number 2. And of course, Joy Dacaron also started in set number 2.
Sabete with a big second set. As you look at the leading scores for both teams, Pablo leading the way with 8, but Sabete also has 8, and 5 were scored in set number 2. Leanne de Guzman, meanwhile, also with 8, but she was limited to only 3 points in the second set. Carino also limited to just 2 points in the second set, but she's got 7. There's Jonas Abete, who looks 100% back pain free.
Yes.
Here in, at least today.
Right. We love to see a healthy Jonas Abete.
Meanwhile, EJ Carino, we mentioned, only 7 points, 6 attacks, 1 ace. And they're going to rely heavily on her along with the rookie Leanne de Guzman if they're to get a W here in the third set. Marian Buitre also so far with a great game. 7 points for her, 4 in the first set, 3 in the second set. As a starter for Coach Koji Tsorabara, she is used to coming off the bench, but she is showing everybody that she deserves a spot in the starting roster. Jules Tolentino came off the bench in the first set, but a starter here in the second set. The 11th overall pick in this year's draft by the Angels. Nice shot of the Batangas City Sports Center. Day number 1 of the second leg, PVL on tour. These two teams will swap opponents. Angels, I believe, will go up against the high risers. Meanwhile, the Chameleons, they will try to get a big W again tomorrow
Chameleons get the first point.
as they take on the Flying Titans.
Six. Carino.
It's a short serve coming from Carino.
That is the 3rd error for EJ.
Jules Tolentino. Serving for the Angels.
It's a veteran first 6 that we're seeing from the Petro Gazz Angels, aside from Jules Tolentino, of course. Just to remind everyone that there's no MJ Phillips and no BVS this tournament. Of course, they have to fulfill their ALAS duties.
That's right. They're in Vietnam.
2-1.
In the meantime, Mayang Nike will get her first point as a Chameleon.
Serving for the Chameleons.
Jaisel De Los Reyes with a short serve. Sabete got it. Let's check in courtside with Kyla Castillo.
25-year-old Donna Paralejas gusto niyang i-take ang opportunity na ito na maipakita kung ano talaga ang ibubuga niya. Kaya naman ine-embrace niya ng buong buo ang challenge coach ni Coach Koji, and that is to mature fast. Yes, may pressure sa expectations ng Ates, pero iniisip niya na lang na lahat ay madadaan sa kanyang lakas ng loob. Kabilang siya sa team result sa provincial meet kung saan sila nagkakilala ni Pau de Guzman at doon naghatakan na sila papuntang Arellano University. Going 7 years na ang kanilang friendship at pinagpapasalamat nilang hanggang ngayon dito sa pros ay masusubaybayan nila ang growth ng isa't isa. Eric and Jamie.
All right, excellent report, Kyla. On Paralejas. So far, looking for her first points today. Got to be more consistent and cut down on the errors, though. And net touch, they're going to call against Mayang Nike.
Yep. Pretty obvious on that sequence by Mayan Nike. You know, they had such a great set number one, but sustaining that is what they need to work on. The gelling, the chemistry is there. The tools, when you look at them individually, the talent is there, but coming together as a team, this is where they need to build a bit more chemistry.
Makaslang scores her 5th point, makes it a 1-point game. Good serve, right on the line for Mayang Nike. Their 2nd point, all scored in the 3rd set.
Perfect spot, right behind the libero there.
Had a very consistent UAAP career, scoring 10 points per game in season 87. Sabete, pancake save is still good as Jonah now with 11 points. First player in double digits for the Angels. Meanwhile, for the Chameleons, as you look at this beauty from Sabete, nobody in double digits yet for Nexled.
Good receive.
Running attack, Chris Makaslang. The dig goes over for Buitre. 1-2 for Maraguinot. Maraguinot now with 3 points.
Very clever, sneaky attack coming from Maraguinot on that 1-2 play.
So the Chameleons tie the game.
That's a good serve.
And another unsuccessful dig from Gervina Sabete, now with 12 points.
To close 3rd set here, Eric.
Sabete, serving for Petro Gazz.
Serve is out for Sabete.
6-all.
First service fault for Jonah. Coach Koji Tsurabara on your screens. Coming off a championship conference in the All-Filipino. Makaslang. She's already picked up at least 2 aces. Jamzon with a left hand at mid-air adjustment.
It's the veteran move from Chamson. Targeting her left hand. Already with 7 points in this entire match.
All from attacks. Back row for De Guzman. Off-speed hit. Easy pickup for Joy Dacoron. Nike pops it up. Carino. Tempiatura with an excellent dig. Carino pops it up. Carino gets it back. Off the block and outside. Little stare down as well for EJ Carino as she scores her 8th point of the game.
Very smart play from Carino.
Shows the rookie a thing or two.
Yep.
And now the 6th deadlock.
It's a loaded serve by Jaja.
Pablo.
Ooh.
Yes.
Pablo.
Oh my. Did not notice that going down the line.
And that will put the Angels on top by 1. First technical timeout of set number 3.
Tomorrow's matches here at the Batangas Coliseum. 4 p.m. Petro Gazz Angels versus the Galleries Power
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
One-point lead for Myla Pablo and the Angels. Here in set number 3, 8-7. DJ Carino with 8 points already. One of two players with 8. De Guzman, the rookie, is the second. We're tied at 1 set all. First game for both teams in Group A. Mayang Nike, that's dug by Tiamzon. Pablo. Almonte passes to Carino, who scores again. 9 points now for Carino.
The same type of attack coming from EJ Carino, just off the block of Jules Tolentino here. From set from Almonte. Actually, that's on the hands of Buitre.
And another deadlock. This is deadlock number 7. Unbelievable, the back and forth between these two teams. Myla Pablo through the block. And the save is no good for Maraguinot. As Pablo now in double digits, one of two players with 10 or more for the Angels. Sabete has 12. Meanwhile, Pablo with 10. And the Angels back up by 1. Gotta get a break point here if you're the Angels. Great pass from De Guzman. And De Los Reyes answers. Second point for De Los Reyes. And this is deadlock number 8. Well, both teams trading blows one after another.
Ooh, that's too tight.
Now a chance ball. And De Guzman. Lucky enough to catch the line. It looked like it was going outside. 9 points now for the rookie, Leon De Guzman.
We love the aggressiveness of Leon De Guzman. Of course, coming from the Ateneo Blue Eagles, but the Petro Gazz Angels will call for time.
Petro Gazz Angels.
Go, go! Sit back and use the quick! Go, aggressive, don't hesitate! He will go, talking! Don't do that! Talk, talk, more talk! Now, impact, come on!
Chameleons with a 2-point run to take the lead here, forcing the timeout from the Angels. Only one timeout remaining for Coach Tezorabara. Still 2 timeouts for the Chameleons. Maraguinot.
What a set.
Nike is blocked. The save by Carino. Chance ball from De Los Reyes. Pablo on the attack. The dig goes over. Chance ball again for the Angels. And this one outside from Buitre, but there's a block touch according to first referee Fernando Velarde. Are they going to challenge? Or there's a bit of a delay here. Chameleons almost got a delay of game there. They're trying to get clarification. All right, everything is good to go. It's another deadlock here. That's deadlock number 9. 10 all. De Guzman flying in for the point.
The rookie is shining here for the Chameleons. What a deceiving speed attack. Explosive approach. Beautiful set from Jaja. Split second switching speed.
And that's the first player in double digits. Leon De Guzman with 10 points. Mayang Nike with a service fault. So another deadlock. We have just about as many deadlocks as points here in set 3. That's how slow and deliberate the points have been between these two teams. Nice shot by Carino right between two players. She is now in double digits as well with 10, matching the output of De Guzman.
Almost looking a bit surprised after that kill in between Pablo and Marian.
1 point lead for the Chameleons. De Guzman serving. Good pass by Pablo. Tacoron. Yes, it is no surprise the Angels get a side out. Third point for Joy Tacoron.
This is off of a tip. A bit late on defense for the Chameleons.
No team has been able to make a run here. Bad pass there from Carino. Almost a double contact as well. Tacoron running attack. Joy Tacoron with back-to-back points.
A lot of activation here so far from Jules Tolentino to Joy Tacoron here. This time on a running attack going cross-court.
Here are the stats to show the viewers how close this third set has been. 11 deadlocks, 3 lead changes. The biggest lead was 1 point for both teams. Carino. Tempiatura pops it up. Tiamzon. Nike with the great dig. A nice block by Tiamzon. Carino against 2 blockers. She still finds a way to score.
Another off-the-block attack by Carino. Too easy. And it seems that the Petro Gazz Angels are unable, rather, to solve this problem of blocking EJ.
Well, that's just veteran moves by Carino. I mean, she just knows how to attack a double block. Tacoron, dug by De Guzman. Here's a chance to take the lead.
Tight.
Left-hand shot. Oof, but the dig goes awry. And even that good left hand by Carino unable to get the ball back in play. So the lead back with the Angels, but only by 1. Both teams very evenly matched here in the third set. Great pass by De Guzman. Nike, that's way outside. Now the biggest lead for either team. 2 points. Angels, 15-13. Carino with a good pass. Combination play. Carino with a side out.
Carino has been that consistent force here for the NXLED Chameleons, as we see a replay on another successful attack targeting the hands of Joy Tacoron.
12 points for Carino, 5 coming here in set number 3. Pablo. Gervina popping it up. De Guzman from the back row. Tolentino back to Pablo. Drop shot. Carino easy pickup. Back row. Into the net for De Guzman. 2-point cushion. Angels 16-14 against the Chameleons. Set 3.
Bitin ba kayo sa games? Watch all the replays at PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
14. A 2-point cushion for the Angels. Lian de Guzman, what a great debut. Already in double digits with 10 off 8 attacks and 2 aces. One set all, but right now it looks like the Angels in control. Now building their biggest lead.
Maya Nika unable to find her rhythm here in this set. She's being blocked. Of course, the jitters are there.
Before that, she sent the ball outside.
Right.
Now a block. 3-point cushion. Angels. Maraginot to Carino. The dump. Sabete sends it over. Carino again. Good coverage by Almonte. And Nike answers.
Better production there by Maya Nike during that transitional play here for the Nexled Chameleons.
Nike now with 3 points, all scored in the third set. And May Lumahan checking in for the first time. Let's see if she can be a catalyst for the Chameleons, who are looking for a spark here in the third set. Running attack by Buitre. Pablo with a dig. Valentino back row, Sabete. Gervina digs it. De Guzman comes up short. That is error number 3 for De Guzman.
Too early to decide of that off-speed attack. Too short of an attack coming from Lian de Guzman.
Back to the biggest lead for the Angels. Jules Tolentino serving at 18-15. Angels winning the second set convincingly, 25-19, after losing by 3 in the first set. De Los Reyes blocked.
So good.
Quick reflexes by Luna Lumahan, keeping this rally alive. De Guzman. Tempiatura digs it up. Pablo. And Tempiatura with an awkward hit to get it over. Mayangnique blocked. Terrific job, Myla Pablo with a monster block.
Perfect timing on these blocks for the Petro Gazz Angels on the attacks of Maya Nike. Perfect press, synchronized block for Pablo.
4 blocks for Pablo and a 4-point lead for the Angels.
Am I to kill the block? You have to spike diagonal, like you have done in transition. Judge, rise this ball. The problem is the ball in 4 is short. Rise it, we need 1 meter more, and maybe 1.5. Guys, here we go. Side out and play.
This is the biggest deficit for De Guzman and the Chameleons. After 12 deadlocks and 3 lead changes, Marian Buitre and Petro Gazz now seemingly in control of this hard-fought third set. One timeout remaining for both teams. Let's see if Chameleons can mount a run after this timeout. Tempiatura again, yeah.
Point.
That's just terrific defense in the back row. Myla Pablo sends it wide. 5th error for Myla Pablo. That's a stop. If you want to look at it that way, for the Chameleons, they get an easy point. Jaisel De Los Reyes serving, 16-19. Barbon with the pass. Pablo. Dig goes over.
Ooh.
What a block. Perfect timing there for Mayangnique against Sabete. But, and quick sequence. Buitre capitalizes with a push.
This quick plays for the Petro Gazz Angels. And what a game for Marian Buitre.
Yep. Already with 9 points. As Pau de Guzman gets some more minutes. The rookie with 2 points. All scored in the first set. Lumahan with a pass. De Guzman, block. And it's been the blocking doing most of the damage for the Angels here midway through or late in the third set. It's a third block for Sabete. Pablo with 4 blocks. Buitre with 3. And Dacoron with 1.
It's also because the passing of Nexled is not as stable, which is forcing the offense of Nexled to look a bit more predictable. As we see Magi now go for this combination play, much needed for the Nexled Chameleons.
De Guzman finally gets a side out. That's her 11th point. Great serve by Nike. Buitre, Nike pops it up. De Guzman asking for it. Blocked again. Mangulabnan this time to Lumahan. Parbon with a dig. Chamzon. Mangulabnan. And easy over here. Chance ball for the Angels. Sabete. Block. Oh, what a save! Nicole Chamzon. Quick reflexes. Inadvertently scores the point for the Angels.
What a play for the Petro Gazz Angels.
That's 8 points now for Tiamzon. Meanwhile, Puntillas checking back in.
She has a 1 point off of an ace.
Makas lang. That's picked up by
Too
Tolentino.
easy.
Tiamzon. Ooh, back-to-back points. She's getting her rhythm here. 9 points for Tiamzon. And this is the biggest lead for the Angels after this spike of the set, brought to you by Duncan, pasalubong ng bayan. Coach Guidetti calling his final timeout. His team down by 7.
If we don't put it just like now, we don't win. So even if the ball is not your perfect ball, we have to go and spike as our response. Okay, got it. And they are simply playing on our block because you're moving like this every time, and we don't have a simple good bounce. And on the transition, rise that ball.
Chameleons, Nexled!
You can hear from the tone of Coach Guidetti is not happy right now. Cheng, not even seeing a minute of action today. Janelle Cheng, along with many other veterans of the Angels. Rem Palma saw her walking around in street clothes. It's a 6-point game.
Ooh.
And De Guzman scores off the chest of Tolentino. Huge side out for the Chameleons.
What a swing by Leon De Guzman. Perfect fit we're seeing here, Eric, for the Nexled Chameleons.
10 points from attacks, 2 from aces for De Guzman. And the other De Guzman with a short pass. Chamzon. There's an overpass from the Chameleons. Sabete, off-speed hit, picked up by Mangulabnan. Nike with a perfect pass. And Lumahan scores her first point of the match.
Just getting a touch on that block and targeting corner pocket of zone 5.
Meanwhile, the Angels will burn their final timeout as well. We'll listen in.
Johnny, you're on, Johnny! Go! 1 point, 1 point, come on!
Okay, the end game
Try
na
to
to!
spike the ball, come on! Spike! I go!
Okay ba?
Well, Coach Tuzurabara aware of the runs that the Chameleons are capable of. And that happened in the first set. They led by at least 2 points late in the set, and then Mayang Nike and company came back, turned it around, and won the first set. He wants nothing more of that here in set number 3. They're up by 4. Dacoron, yes.
Maya Niken not ready to play defense on that attack of the Petro Gazz Angels. This does lead them to just one more point of clinching set number 2.
Bacoron with their 5th point, scoring 3 in the 3rd set.
Set number 3, rather.
That's right. Paralejas checking back in along with Adolfo to try and put the finishing touch to this 3rd set. Could serve. Short pass from Almonte. Lumahan. That could have been outside. De Guzman picks it up. Chance to put it away. Chamzon. Good save by Mo Labnan. Lumahan. It's outside. And that'll do it for the 3rd set. Lumahan, costly error in the end. And this point of the set brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Another 6-point win for the Angels against the Chameleons, and they're up 2-1. Identical scores for the Angels in the 2nd and 3rd sets, but more importantly, a 2-1 advantage against the Chameleons going to set 4.
So it's the veterans that are shining here for the Petro Gazz Angels. Mariam Buitre and the rest of the Angels, Joy Dacaron and Myla Pabla as well. And also Nicole Chamzon stepping up to the plate when needed, especially at the service line. But when it comes to the Nexled Chameleons, the tools are there to make a difference. But when they come together as a team, there's a lot of lack of communication, silly mistakes that occur, and also not enough urgency to get that set number 3. Of course, Nicole Chamzon did make a difference in that set, of course, targeting the blocks of the Nexled Chameleons. As we see the set 3 stats, and 15 attacks for the Nexled Chameleons and 14 for the Petro Gazz Angels. And it's those errors that I was saying, the lack of communication, the ball just falling in between each teammate. 8 errors in just set number 3 for the Nexled Chameleons.
And 2 players with 9 points already for the Angels, aside from the 2 players in double digits already, Buitre and Chamzon with 9 each. So at least 4 players will be in double digits. Right. If everything goes according to plan for the Angels. That's, an excellent production for this championship level team. Meanwhile, for the Chameleons, they have Carino in double digits with 12 as well for the rookie De Guzman. But the next top scorer only has 5 in Rich Macaslang. So
not enough.
Not enough help compared to what the other team is putting out there.
And I like what I'm seeing with the Petro Gazz Angels, the Mariam Buitre and also Joy Dacaron. A lot of activation of the bigs here for the Petro Gazz Angels, showing their versatility. And of course, Jules Tolentino running the offense here for the first time for the Petro Gazz Angels.
Well, a lot of things to talk over. Team captain Chiara Permentilla, you can see her being very vocal in the huddle as they try and stay alive in their very first game of the PVL On Tour Conference. They are part of Pool A, one of 6 teams in Pool A. The other pool has 6 teams as well. Single round robin format in the first round.
And then the top 2 teams will advance to the quarterfinals, and then the bottom 4 teams will then go for a knockout round.
Right.
So, of course, it's a do or die in that situation. So you want to avoid that as much as possible. So each game is very crucial in this PVL on tour.
And what you like about the Angels is you saw Pablo, one of the top scorers of the team, along with Sabete. I mean, you don't have your mainstays.
Right.
Pontillas only seeing probably 1.5 minutes so far.
Barely.
No Rem Palma, no Janelle Cheng. And yet, they're up 2-1 against this young and very talented Chameleons.
You know, it just goes to show how deep the bench is. For all teams, of course, this PVL on tour is a preseason for what's to come later on this year. But like you mentioned, Eric, the mainstays are not in their teams, which actually gives opportunity to the bench warmers from the previous conference to shine here.
Long battle for the first point of the 4th set. Rally continues.
Ooh.
And Sabete finally comes up short. It's not a kill that draws the first point, but an error by Jonas Sabete.
The point does go to the NXLED Chameleons here.
Meanwhile, the Chameleons probably the only team without a contribution to Alas Pilipinas, so they're at full strength.
Yep, which is good for them.
Good for them,
way.
definitely.
They have time to experiment, to see what works, what doesn't work, who works well with who.
Right. And they've so far played just about everybody. Although we saw Janelle Delerio, didn't see action today. She spoke with Kyla Castillo earlier.
Right. Little interview about their Lomi.
Batangas Lomi. They tried it today. They'll try it again tomorrow.
Why not?
Yeah. Good start here for the Chameleons, 2-0. After losing the last 2 sets. Sabete. The pass. Here comes Pablo. And a net touch by the Chameleons will give the Angels their first point. What's going on, Kyla Castillo?
Well, Eric and Jamie, a very passionate Kiara Permentilla huddled her teammates coming into this 4th set. Aggressiveness ang nagpapanalo sa atin sa set number 1. Kailangan nating maibalik yon. She said, and I quote, kaya naman wag lang natin hayaan mawala yung tapang. Lahat ng pagkakamali natin, ibawi na ngayon. She also demanded intentional communication. Kapag may hindi maganda, set man, receive o palo, sabihin agad at mag-usap para magawa ng paraan. Will the Angels continue their ascent or will the Chameleons adapt and force a 5th set? Eric and Jamie.
Thank you, Kyla. So far, the Angels ascending once again. Nice block by Buitre, her 4th, and she ties the game at 2-all. But one good block deserves another. A nice job by Fernandez shutting down Tiamzon.
Take a look at this replay here. Synchronized block, perfect press on that block for Joe Fernandez.
Fernandez now with 5 points. That's her 3rd block of the game. Great pass. Wait a minute, the buzzer went off.
The wrong server, I believe, for the NXLED Chameleons.
That's why it's
meaning
always
wrong rotation.
Yeah, good to check. You can. Players are allowed to ask the officials who will serve.
Just got to be sure. And the NXLED Chameleons are lucky this is not happening in the 20 mark.
Yeah. That mistake just ties the game. 3-all. Buitre now the 3rd player in double digits with 10 para sa Angels. What a performance. 5 attacks, 4 blocks, and 1 ace.
And 1 error.
Yep, just her 2nd error.
Yep.
I mean,
stellar performance for
excellent.
Buitre.
Now Fernandez. It's her turn to serve.
Loaded serve.
Oh, but what a great set. Great set from Tolentino, and Dacoron rewards her with a point.
She's actually had a couple of those one-hand sets.
And easy for,
Not easy.
well, at least for
Well, she's
Tolentino,
also tall.
she's tall. I mean, you're
Right.
5'11". For all. Permentilla with the pass. Here comes Fernandez. Dug by Pablo. Comes on. Leon de Guzman with a dig. Manching Mangulabnan had to run a marathon for that second touch. Tacoron again. De Guzman says mine. Permentilla hits it.
That's a good set.
Chamzon, yes! Chami Chamzon now with 10. So 4 players in double digits for the Angels today. This one deserves our spike of the set. Brought to you by Duncan, Pasalubong ng Bayan.
What a beautiful cross-court attack by Nicole Chamson.
Undeterred by getting blocked earlier. 10 points off 10 attacks. Very aggressive today, Nicole Chamzon. Permentilla popped up by Sabete. And Dacoron making a case for the 5th player in double digits, already with 7.
This is a very solid and deep lineup we're seeing for the Petro Gazz Angels. No BVS, no MJ Phillips.
No problem.
No problem.
2-point lead for the Angels. It's their biggest lead of the 4th set. Permentilla got it.
It's a much-needed side out for the NXLED Chameleons here. Chiara Permentilla up to serve, but that attack did target zone 5.
Just the 3rd point for the team captain, Chiara Permentilla. Must-win set for the Chameleons. Dacoron again. Good save. Chamzon. That is outside. No,
That is inside.
right on the line. Chamzon now with 11. And it's back to a 2-point lead for the Angels.
Coming from an out-of-system play. Perfect down the line.
Bad receive there by the team captain, Chiara Permentilla. Chance ball for the Angels. Dacoron. Dug by Fernandez. De Guzman. Tempiatura overpasses. And that save. Great
Good
effort,
try.
but unsuccessful for Jelly Tempiatura.
Good try for Jelly and the Petro Gazz Angels.
Six serving 7. Aslang had a couple of aces. Whew. What a time for that one to come. She didn't have an ace in the 3rd set, but she makes up for it with her 3rd ace today.
Ace on Bila Barbon here. Actually, that serve looked like it was sailing outside.
7-all. 4th deadlock. Tolentino on 2. Yes, Jules Tolentino. First point. 8-7. Angels up by 1. Set number 4.
Bitin na kaya sa games? Watch all the replays at PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Close one here in the 4th set. Chameleons only down by 1. 8-7. Past the first technical timeout, Jonas Abete 13 points, matching the 13 of Myla Pablo. Chamzon with 11. Buitre with 10. 4 players in double digits. for the All-Filipino Conference champions. Joy Dacoron with 7. Amazing offensive production by the red shirts. Almonte with a short pass. De Guzman. Pablo. A broken play. Still Pablo making something out of it.
And Myla Pablo so able to make a way out of that out-of-system play. Still going down the line.
And right now, the Chameleons looking a step slower than they were in set number 3. 2-point cushion for Petro Gazz. Oh, but Leah De Guzman knocks that one in. A lot of pace. 13 points for the rookie.
Oh, this is where Maggi needs to maximize De Guzman as she's still in the front row there and just finding that open window in between that broken block of the Angels.
Well, plenty of options for Mangulabnan. You've got Piotr Permentilla in the back row, then Fernandez, Jason De Los Reyes, and De Guzman in the front. Back row, Permentilla.
Still
what
good.
A stretched out dig for Sabete. Pablo again. Dug by Permentilla. De Los Reyes blocked by Buitre. De Guzman punches it through the double block. Back-to-back points for Leanne De Guzman. And we're tied at 9.
You know, the NXLED Chameleons always needed that aggressive spiker in terms of wings. And that is Leanne De Guzman here. Perfect fit for the Chameleons.
14 for De Guzman now. We haven't seen Carino in a while. Buitre turned away, and De Los Reyes gives Buitre a taste of her own medicine. First block for De Los Reyes, and the Chameleons now with the lead. 3-0 run. This rotation allowing Nexled to score a bunch of points. De Guzman tips it. Tempiatura with the dig. Pablo. Gervina passes. De Guzman again. Coverage by Mangulabnan.
Not over, I believe.
And very quickly, there's going to be a challenge here by the Chameleons. Block touch challenge at 10-all. Set 4.
10-all is their score here. And set number 4. Petro Gazz Angels up by 1 set here. And of course, the NXLED Chameleons want to extend this match to 5 sets.
Chameleons only winning 1 match in the All-Filipino Conference. They beat High Risers. So they're looking for their first win today, their first game of the PVL on tour. And it's a tough assignment against the defending champions, or the champions of the All-Filipino Conference. So, yes, there is a touch.
The challenge is successful for the NXLED Chameleons.
And they match their biggest lead on set number 4 at 2 points. Now, beg your pardon, we adjust. It will stay 10-9 for now in favor of the Chameleons.
Loaded serve by Maggi.
Buitre. Fernandez. Yes, now it's a 2-point lead for the Chameleons.
Now earlier it was a blocking party for the Petro Gazz Angels, but this time the block is a bit too far off the net here. What a play by Joe Fernandez.
Chameleons finding their second win. What a time for it to come. Buitre will sit down. Rania Musa returns to the game for the Angels. Short pass for Sabete. Pablo. Mangulabnan. Gervina will set it up. They go to De Guzman. Got it again. 15 for the rookie, Leanne De Guzman. And the biggest lead right now for the Chameleons at 3. Timeout Angels. Only one timeout remaining for the Angels. They are down by 3 after leading by 2. And still a tight set. Paralejas and Sabete trying to sub in, but disallowed as the server is ready. Haji Mangulabnan. This rotation remains for the Chameleons, and it has been beneficial for them. Adolfo with the pass. Musa. Gervina pops it up. Here comes De Guzman again. Back-to-back points for Lian De Guzman. 16 already.
A lot of firepower coming from this rookie and Lian De Guzman. Perfect defense, of course, by Rachel Gervina. But what a swing.
Now a 4-point lead for the Chameleons. What a save for Magunabnan.
Wasn't a touch by Jaisal. They're too eager and excited in that sequence.
Jules Tolentino, great debut for her as well. Interesting to find out how many excellent sets she's put together. But she scored a point already as well. Hernandez is blocked. De Guzman again. Chamzon with a dig. Rania Musa picked up by Almonte. De Guzman. Tempiatura dig goes over. Mangulabnan back to Lian De Guzman. Drop shot picked up by Tolentino. That's too tight for Adolfo, and De Guzman will get the point.
The offense. Lian De Guzman making it difficult for the Petro Gazz Angels. We have Jonas Abeta now back in for Adolfo.
De Guzman and the Chameleons protecting a 4-point lead. Good pass. Pablo. Got it.
What a swing coming from the right pin this time for Myla Pablo. Much needed side out after that run.
What a set.
Beautiful set by Tolentino.
Pablo now with 15. Permentilla with the pass. Chiara Permentilla sends it outside.
There's no touch on that one. But there will be a challenge. Yes, a challenge called for the Nexled Chameleons.
And nobody from the Angels admitting to the block touch. So we're going to go the whole 9 yards here. Must-win situation here for the Chameleons. Trying to stop a 2-point run by the Angels. The biggest lead was 4. There is a block touch. So side out. Chameleons back to a 4-point cushion. 25-year-old Jaisal De Los Reyes. Good serve. Musa with a better pass. Chamzon blocked. Musa with coverage. Chamzon tries again.
Good dig.
Permentilla. The save is good for Sabete. And Tempiatura sends it over. Permentilla sends us to our second technical timeout. Chameleons up by 5 against the Angels. Set number 4.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
5-point cushion. Chameleons, their biggest lead of the set. And after losing the last two by 6, they're in good shape here in set number 4. Lian de Guzman and company now looking a step quicker than they were in the first half of the set. Sabete.
Ooh. Okay.
Response after the timeout.
Already with 14 points in this entire match. What a swing coming from Sabete.
$12 serving 16. It's a 4-point game. That one just outside for Rania Musa.
The ball is out. NXLED scores. Jacqueline Fernandez serving for the Chameleons.
You can see the disappointment on the face of Coach Koji Tizurabara. These errors obviously not helping their comeback bid here in set 4. And a block by Makaslan.
Also, the set of Jules was a bit too tight for Joy to attack. Take a look at the replay here.
What a game for Chris Makaslan. 7 points off 2 attacks, 2 blocks, and 3 aces. Timeout for the Angels.
Enemies are your half. No opponent, your half. Everyone, senior member, all negative. Come on, guys.
Chiara Permentilla and the Chameleons up by 6. You heard a lot of urgency in the voice of Coach Tizurabara challenging the veterans to step up, take control of this game, because it is obviously slipping away from their fingertips. Service out. That's a huge break for the Angels, not having to work for that first point. Coach Guidetti on your screens now for Sabete and company. It will be ideal if they can get at least a 3-point run. Permentilla. Sabete, easy pickup.
Good reaction.
To Permentilla. Punches it through the double block. Chance ball again for the Chameleons. Permentilla tries one more time. Chamzon. Dug by Almonte. Fernandez goes back to Chiara Permentilla. She has been the go-to in this rally. Joy Dacoron looking for a block touch. They don't give it. Question is, yes. Question answered right away. There will be a challenge.
The block touch challenge called on the attack of Joy.
Huge point they're contesting here.
Right.
This will make it a 2-point run. If they score this break point, the Angels do, and keep their hopes alive of making this just a 4-set match. It doesn't seem like there was any.
It's a clear attack going outside, but very close call here on that block touch.
So unsuccessful challenge for Coach Tizurabara. Back to a 6-point cushion for the Chameleons, looking very comfortable here in set 4.
That's a good serve.
Rare bad pass for Tempiatura. Chance ball for the Chameleons. De Guzman got it again. It's a 7-point lead for Nexled.
What a performance by Lian de Guzman.
Yeah.
When PR is in the back row, they still have that added firepower with de Guzman.
17 now for Lian de Guzman as Paralejas checks back in, replaces Tolentino. Angels looking for a spark, get their offense going, but it's their defense that's been challenged.
And their serves.
Yep. Jorvina with a save. Paralejas hits it. Oh, Paralejas, there's the spark the Angels have been looking for. First point for Paralejas in the game.
A potential magic bunot, maybe, for the Petro Gazz Angels. But let's talk about Rachel Jorvina diving and sacrificing her body.
Still a long way to go if you're the Angels, down by 6. Overpass. Battle at the net. Pablo couldn't get it. Pablo will try the hard way. Fernandez coming out of nowhere for the dig. De Guzman again. 17. Make that 18 now for Lian De Guzman.
Very impactful player here.
Most productive set for De Guzman. 6 of her 18 points coming in set 4. Lumahan is back in the game. Chameleons sitting on a 7-point lead. Good pass. Sabete. Pablo off-speed hit. Fernandez again coming out of nowhere.
Oh, goodness.
Chamzon. Here comes Sabete. Back row into the net. And that will probably do it if you're the Chameleons. Now up by 8 points and 3 points away from winning the 4th set.
Lian De Guzman, just unstoppable this entire game.
18 points. De Guzman. Now this one outside for Lumahan.
Kind of looked inside, actually. They should call a challenge on that one. Yep. Looked like it was inside. From our POV.
We'll check it. Tough to say. The ball does flatten when it hits the Paraflex, so it stretches out. Maybe just maybe clip an inch of that back line.
I spoke too soon.
That's at least an inch and a half away. Hey, don't look now. Janelle Cheng checking in for the first time.
Substitution.
And the crowd erupting. 2-time best setter in college. And the starting setter in the All-Filipino Conference for the Angels. De Guzman continues her assault. 19 for De Guzman.
Down the line, cross court. Unstoppable. That swing.
And
right behind Cheng.
good idea to target the server as well. Obviously, Janelle Cheng, she's been watching since like 6:30. Obviously very cold off the bench. Tough set for Paralejas. And it is the biggest lead so far in the match. 9 set points for the Chameleons. Chance ball. Jorvina. Fernandez can put it away right here. Not just yet, says Tempiatura. Pablo. Jorvina. Ang ulabnan. Go back to De Guzman. Why not? She has the hot hand. 20 points. Lian De Guzman. And she delivers the W for the Chameleons in set number 4. A 10-point win.
Take a look at this replay here. Beautiful dig by Jorvina. And of course, Lian De Guzman paving the way for the Nexled Chameleons.
That is the point of the set, brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. We're tied at 2-set-all. 5th and final set coming up right after these. Chameleons fight to stay alive in set number 4, and what a huge win, the biggest winning margin so far in the match. In fact, in the day, 10-point win.
And for the NXLED Chameleons, Leanne de Guzman, do not forget her name, shining bright, perfect fit for the NXLED Chameleons. Her power attacks, her off-speed attacks. You just saw that in between that block of the Petro Gazz Angels, just finding ways and providing stability for the NXLED Chameleons. As for the Petro Gazz Angels, they were unable to silence her in terms of blocking. Blocking was a bit more shaky. Also, the liberos of the Petro Gazz Angels were in the right zones when it came to the attacks of Leanne de Guzman. Unfortunately, her attacks were just too strong to contain, and in terms of communication, there was a lack of that also in set number 4, as we see the set 4 stats here. 12 attacks for the NXLED Chameleons and 9 for the Petro Gazz Angels. 9 errors in just that set alone for the Petro Gazz Angels. Blocking was a bit shaky, a bit disorganized, also a bit off the net, talking about the Petro Gazz Angels, and we didn't see a lot of those activation of the middle blockers that we witnessed, Eric, in set number 1. As for the NXLED Chameleons, the digging of Almonte and Jorvina have just been very solid, which is allowing Magi and Jaja to run the offense smoothly. Rich Macaslan also had a few blocks here and there, and Joe Fernandez and Jaisal were also shining as well in set number 4. But it's that girl on your screens, Leanne de Guzman, 20 points so far, being the leading scorer of the NXLED Chameleons, and 14 for Myla Pablo.
Now, 8 of the 20 points of de Guzman coming in set number 4, so that's almost half of her output. That's how unstoppable she was in that pivotal 4th set to keep this match alive, and the hopes of winning their first match in the PVL on tour for Nexled. Jules Tolentino back in the starting lineup. On the floor along with Marian Buitre, Myla Pablo, Joy Dacoron, Nicole Tiamzon, and Jonas Abete. Meanwhile, for the Chameleons, Magi Mangulabnan will kick things off to serve. She's on the floor along with Leanne de Guzman, Job Fernandez, Jaisal de los Reyes, and Chiara Permentilla. The 6th player is Rachel Jorvina, their libero, who checked in for Rich Macaslan. Race to score 15. That's obviously the cliche you hear a lot. That is the truth. The team starts off strong, usually gets the W.
Right.
And you've got to, you're expecting, of course, the team who won by 10 points in the 4th set to have momentum coming here. The 5th and final set. Myla Pablo. Permentilla with a good dig. Fernandez got it.
You know, in just that sequence, you can see the urgency is there. Quick reactions for the diggers for the NXLED Chameleons, as Coach Koji will call for a time.
It's a very early timeout after the first point scored by Fernandez here in the 5th.
Go, aggressive, come on!
That was unexpected. Angels burning their first timeout very early. Well, that obviously goes to show you how important this match is.
Right. Wasting no time.
Yep, for Coach Koji.
Of course, this is a shorter format. We explained it earlier in the pregame.
Buitre. And how versatile is Marian Buitre? I mean, you see her from the middle. Sometimes she's attacking from the wings. Mangulabnan to Permentilla. Off-speed hit. And a good dig from Pablo. And Pablo sends it over. Jorvina. De los Reyes. Got it.
What a set by Magi to Jaisal. Perfect timing.
Yeah, single blocker right there. 2-0 start for the Chameleons. De los Reyes with 4 points. Bad pass. Fermentilla with a save. Chance ball. Pablo. Maulabnan to Fermentilla. Oh, got it.
Fermentilla scores 3.
The teamwork here for the Nexled Chameleons. They are unstoppable here from the start of the 4th set. Look at that.
So 3 players, 3 points for the Chameleons. Everybody getting a touch early for the black shirts. Fernandez! Job Fernandez with 8 points already. It's a 4-0 start for the Chameleons.
And most of their attacks, Eric, are actually just coming off the block of the Petro Gazz Angels. The disorganized blocks we're seeing from the Petro Gazz Angels.
And this barrage of points coming off a timeout already burned by Coach Zurabara. Finally a side out for Myla Pablo.
Angels get their first point.
The veterans of the Angels need to step up here. You have Nicole Chamson, Sabete, Myla Pablo. The stacked front row here with Tolentino up to serve.
Fermentilla. Temperatura, the dig goes over. Maulabnan back to Kiara. Solid block. Raja Musa. No, they credit Myla Pablo with a block. Beg your pardon. So Pablo with 16 points. That's her 5th block. She has the most blocks for the team today.
Of course, the Petro Gazz Angels do have that mental edge over the Nexled Chameleons.
2-point answer by the Angels. Fernandez got it again. Fernandez has 3 of the 5 points of the Chameleons.
Joe Fernandez finding a new home here for the Nexled Chameleons.
Coming from the HD Spikers. Overpass. And a violation they call against Tolentino, I believe. So that'll be a 4-point lead again for the Chameleons.
Now this is where they're missing their veterans here. Chisaet, Janelle Cheng, BVS, and MJ Phillips.
Sabete. Fermentilla pops it up. Great pass. Oh, but Fernandez unable to capitalize.
Not easy with those out-of-system plays.
Substitution for the Angels. Pau de Guzman returning for Myla Pablo. It's been sporadic, the minutes for Pau de Guzman. Great serve, though. Lian de Guzman, already with 20 points, looking for 21. Temperatura to Tiamzon, off the block and outside.
So Nicole Chamson, the veterans needing to pave the way here for the Angels. As we take a look at this replay here, off the block on the hands of Jason.
12 points, 12 attacks for Nicole Tiamzon. Short pass. Almonte will set it for Fernandez. De Guzman turned away.
Denied. 5-6.
Chamzon, that's her first block of the game. She scored the last 2 points of the Angels. And from down 4, a chance to tie for Petro Gazz on the serve by De Guzman. Oh, beautiful serve. De Los Reyes, drop shot. Perfect.
Smart play by Maggie, switching things up. She understands that the wings are already heavily guarded on the left and right pin, but she changed her strategy this time, and it went for that simple 8-quick on J-Cell.
Checking in early in the set, May Lumahan for the Chameleons, up by 2. Sabete. Formentilla will play setter. Fernandez didn't like it, so it's an easy over. Chamzon turned away.
Another kill block for the Nexled Chameleons.
They give it a Krich Makaslang. That's her third block of the game. Let's check in with Kyla Castillo.
Yes, Eric and Jamie, what a comeback by the Nexled Chameleons, forcing the first ever 5-setter of the PVL 2025 on tour. It's amazing to see how the Chameleons were able to bring back their aggressiveness that made them win in set number 1. And this is what team manager Z Hervasio is talking about. The Chameleons are not to be counted out. Now, the challenge is how they can level their emotions para maiwasan ang panggigigil and in turn maiwasan ang unforced errors. Now, on the other side of the court is Rem Palma delivering a pep talk. Tsagain nyo lang, napakarami nating combination plays, gamitin naman natin. Even reminding veteran Jonas Sabete to
A quick push from Musa. 6 serving 8. Substitution, Nexled. 8 out, 14, De Los Reyes in. Rania Musa, serving for the Angels. Ball is out.
Nine 6. Chameleons up by 3.
The Nexled Chameleons needed to take advantage of this lead here before the Petro Gazz Angels.
And block going outside. Nicole Tiamzon continues to plug away at this deficit. 14 points now for Tiamzon. It's a 2-point game. Adolfo Paralejas returning for the Angels. 9-7. Chameleons up by 2 against the Angels. Bad pass.
Ooh, still good. Oh,
and that will not count.
My.
Terrific effort once again. Maji Mangulabnan. She hit the A-board in front of us and she hit the A-board on the other side. I mean, just absolute commitment to defense being displayed here by Mangulabnan for the Chameleons. And right now, the Angels starting to build some momentum here. Only down by 1 after trailing by as many as 4. De Guzman. Pau De Guzman with a dig. Blocked against Tiamzon. Nicole asking for it again.
That's too tight.
With a left hand, Nicole Tiamzon says, no problem. 15 points for Tiamzon, and the game is tied for the first time in the 5th set.
What a 5th set here for the PVL on tour here in Batangas.
And a timeout for Coach Guidetti. We'll listen in.
Not to forecast. Okay, guys, we need a side out. She's serving an high ball. We have to move the legs and we have to work with the legs. And now we have to cover. To cover, and that's all. Okay, here we go. Ready?
A pretty basic volleyball from Coach Guidetti. Got to cover. Got to get a good good receive. Do it with your legs. Let's see if they can get a side out here. Angels on a 3-0 run. The game is tied at 9 for the first time in set number 5.
Donna Paralejas, serving for Petro Gazz.
It's a loaded serve.
Back row. Good dig coming from Pau De Guzman. Tiamzon again. This time, Adolfo. Block. De Guzman, or was it Makaslang? Oh, Krich Makaslang with her second block of set number 5.
Very aggressive Krich here in set number 5. As you see a double sub here for the NXLED Chameleons.
Like Ebon, Jaja Maraginot checking in. Nexled back up by 1. But right now the Angels have proven doesn't matter how much the lead or the deficit is.
Yep. What matters is the end game.
Yeah. They fought back from down 4. That was the lead of De Guzman and the Chameleons early in the 5th set. Oh, De Guzman doing everything today. 21 points, and that is ace number 3.
All-around player we're seeing from Lian De Guzman. A lot of fans, of course, supporting her here in Batangas City.
2 unanswered points by the Chameleons. Chamzon, block, coverage by Barbon. Chamzon again. Permentilla, Barbon with the dig. How De Guzman sets it up. Chamzon, easy over. Permentilla. De Guzman hits it from the back row. Permentilla makes it a 3-point run for the Chameleons.
What a play by Jaja Maragino to activate the combination play here in set number 5.
7 for Permentilla. Jules Tolentino returning along with Jonas Abete for the Angels to try and mount one big run here. They have a 3-point lead, De Guzman and the Chameleons, and they're 3 points away from winning the match in 5. Nice looking serve. Bad pass there. Going to be an easy over for Barbon. Combination play. Permentilla block. Makaslang with coverage. Permentilla tries again. Got it again. Back-to-back points for Permentilla. And the Chameleons restore a 4-point cushion.
Jaja just knows that perfect set, that perfect hitting point for Kiara Permentilla. They're just 2 points away of beating the Petro Gazz Angels here in the PVL on tour.
Both teams with 1 timeout remaining. Coach Suzurabara not calling it yet. Better pass. Chamzon block. Sapete with the easy over. Permentilla off-speed hit. She has scored the last 3 points for the Chameleons. This is their biggest lead, and it sits at 5 match points. Chamzon. De Guzman sends it outside. So 1 match point given up.
Match point here for the NXLED Chameleons. They started strong. Let's see if they can end strong here in set number 5. Pressure-packed moments here for the Petro Gazz Angels. EJ Carino on your screens. Hoping for the best.
Yeah, and she only played until set number 3. But already put up 12 points. Chance to put it away. Permentilla, why not? Not just yet. But a chance ball for the Chameleons. They set it up once again. Permentilla from the middle. And there it is. The winning point. The last 4 points of the Chameleons coming from the team captain, Kiara Permentilla. And she delivered big time. Huge win for the Chameleons after losing sets 2 and 3. Didn't look promising for them going to set number 4. And Asher, point of the set brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's Vitamin Hour Whitening Lotion.
Now, Eric, this game was theirs from the start. I mentioned this in the pregame. All teams have to have that laser focus from start to finish, and that was the NXLED Chameleons from the digging of Rachel Jorvina to Lian de Guzman in her attacking.
What a thriller in the second game of your PVL on tour this Saturday. A 5-set win for the Chameleons against the Angels. Our best player is with Kyla Castillo.
That is right, Eric and Jamie. Batangas City, our best player of the game, Lian de Guzman of the Nexled Chameleons. Very happy teammates, very proud teammates. Lian, napaka-exciting ng game na ito. What a comeback. Lian, uunahin ko na, anong nararamdaman mo ngayon? First game mo here in the pros at unang panalo with your team. 21 big points lang naman. Lian, anong nararamdaman mo? Anong pakiramdam? Maipanalo ang una yung laro dito sa pros.
Siyempre, very happy ako kasi tinulungan ako ng mga artist ko. Siyempre, una pa lang sobrang kabado talaga ako. And siyempre sa help nila and sila coaches, ayun, mas naging magaan yung laro ko.
Lian, gaano kalaking bagay na narito ang suporta ng iyong teammates, ng iyong coaches, that connection with your setter, Jaja Maraginot, para sa panalong ito?
Siyempre, yun nga, nag-boost talaga yun ng confidence sa akin. And of course, hindi ko naman magagawa yan kung hindi rin sa mga teammates ko.
Lian, kanina nakwento ni Janelle, nag-lomi na raw kayo at bukas mas maraming lomi pa. Yes! Mukhang may nakain kayo na nakaswerte. At syempre, gusto namin tanungin, no, ano bang aasahan namin sa NXLED Chameleons? Tomorrow, you will be facing the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. What can we expect from the NXLED Chameleons?
Siyempre, ulit, reset lang ulit kami kasi siyempre ibang opponent. But yun nga, mag-rest muna kami and bukas ulit.
Lomi ulit. Well, Lian, narito pa rin ang mga sumusuporta. Narito pa rin ang mga Batanggenyo, talagang nagstay sila dito sa Batangas City Sports Center. Meron ka bang mga mensahe sa mga fans na talagang all out ang support para sa inyo?
Of course, sa NXLED Nation and sa mga taga Batangas. And of course, sa family ko, thank you so much po sa support. And of course, wait lang, Ate Mel!
Hello daw po kayo doon ni Pangilinan. Well, there you have it. A very happy team, NXLED Chameleons, and very proud of their player of the game with 21 big points. A rookie, star rookie, if I may add, Lian de Guzman of the NXLED Chameleons.
All right, thank you very much, Kyla. Very energetic celebration there by the Chameleons. What a performance on her very first game as a Chameleon, coming off from a stellar college performance, Lian de Guzman. Here's the schedule. Tomorrow, it's the Angels taking on the High Risers, two teams looking for their first win in the PVL On Tour Conference. First game. And then second game tomorrow, Flying Titans and the Chameleons, the two winners today. And we will see who will taste defeat tomorrow between these two teams. And that wraps it up for our coverage today, day number 1 at the Batangas City Sports Center. An excellent job by our Signal TV crew led by our director Al Neri. For Kyla Castillo, Jamie La Victoria, I'm Eric Tipan. Appreciate all of you watching us on Pilipinas Live, One Sports and One Sports Plus. Good night from Batangas City.